This is Bella's week 6 sequence, our second part of the feedback, which I know from watching this through um, in normal time, so I could hear all your verbals and all that. When I watched it through, I got a preview. I know we're gonna have a whole bunch of teeter issues now. So, oh, I feel for you because I know we have all been there. Anyone who's been doing agility has been there, and it's usually with the weaves or the teeter are the two big ones, but it can happen to anyone on any of the obstacles. Just happens to be that the teeter and the weaves are the most common, where we have kind of a setback. So I feel your pain. It reminds me of that meme, that social media meme. You've probably seen it. It's where like this. Forget the background. Where we think uh, progress looks like this, and we start here, and we just put in time, and we work, and we work, and we work, and we work, and we work. Hooray, goal! But in reality, progress looks like this. And right now, with this teeter, you're like here. You're like, that's a moment where you just dipped way down and you're like, well, what the hell? So I feel for you. So it does suck. But the solution, especially with the teeter maybe more than anything else, is always you got to take a deep breath and be willing to back up. Sometimes you have to back way the hell up because the teeter, especially more than any other obstacle, is a fear-based issue usually. Um, so whenever there's a fear-based issue, we have to back way up. You are much better backing up a little bit further than you had to than not backing up far enough. So what she's doing right now is she's showing me that she's uncomfortable with where the teeter is going to tip. She doesn't like the tip. She doesn't want it to move underneath her feet. And so that's how she's demonstrating this, right? It also happens like fairly common when dogs they learn the teeter, they think you're okay, but then you get maybe they're not quite as confident as you thought they were, and then you trial a little bit and she gets on a different teeter in a different setting, and then it doesn't tip quite the same way, and then it can really shoot a hole in their entire confidence about this stupid plank that moves unpredictably under their feet. So she is looking for nice end contact behavior. She knows her job there and she's fine there. It's just all about her lip looking for the tipping point. This is a nice job. Your blind's crazy late, but you're able to get to it. I know you're just still focused on the teeter there. I think coming off the blue like that, I think it was more about your blind being late. But I'm not knocking you on that also because I know we're still, both you and her are still thinking about that teeter. But I think you do a nice job through this. I also think it's good that after you get through that little teeter thing that you do this and then you say, okay, let's go back to the teeter. So that's good. You didn't just say to hell with that. Phew, we got it and move on. So I think that was good. Here's what I don't love though. I don't see how you're paying her there like all along, doing the old like breadcrumb trail and moving it, trying to tip it super slow, and then paying her. I understand where you're coming from. I don't think though for most dogs, most of the time that is the best solution. The reason is because she's still looking for the tipping point. She thinks that somewhere in this zone, the teeter is going to tip, and she doesn't like that. So she gets there, that's why she's stopping. She's waiting for it, and then it didn't tip. She's not exactly sure because this is all a gray area. It might tip here, might tip here, might tip here. So now you're tipping it on her. She's not exactly sure. It's unpredictable. and she does not like the unpredictable nature of this situation. She will take the treat dose, but she doesn't like the unpredictable nature of what's happening. The easiest, I won't say easiest, I'll say the best way, though, I think, long term, to get over this issue is that we need to retrain her to believe that the teeter does not tip here, 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 or here, or here. The teeter does not tip until you get to here, the end. If she runs up the teeter and then she stops here, then it will tip. The reason I think that's best is for a couple reasons. It will always tip there. The whole trick to that is she needs to run confidently all the way to the end where she will get paid. And she will only get paid at the very end. And then the teeter tips. The reason I think that is the best way long term is because every teeter, no matter where you go in what environment, will always tip if she's near the end. And at the end, it is a more clear ending point for her to run to. A lot of dogs learn that it's just the tipping point is somewhere near the middle-ish, and that's what is happening with her. But that's kind of gray and unpredictable from the dog's point of view, exactly which teeter is going to tip where. So in order to get her to run all the way to the end and then it tips, we need to back up. We need to back way up. So that means either lowering the teeter all the way down, or using 2 tables, something like that. Get her to run all the way down to the end, then she gets paid, and then it tips. Then she can run down to the end and get paid as it's tipping, whatever, but at the very end. If she will not sprint all the way to the end of the teeter, then you're not ready to raise the teeter any higher. You're not ready to take away or lower the tables. And I know it sucks, but I promise you that if you take the time to do that, it will be worth it. So she just needs some remedial work on that teeter. In the meantime, until she has that down, I wouldn't put her on a teeter at a trial for sure, because that can only make things go further south for longer. CPE level 1 does not have teeters in it. You can do trialing in CPE level 1 with no threat of teeters. So she's stopping, looking. She just knows somewhere near the middle-ish it's going to tip, and she don't love it. I know it sucks to be here. We've all been through. Anyone who's done agility very long has been through this issue. So that one was nice to celebrate there. And I like that I like that you're trying real hard to keep it positive and pay her and be proud of her when she does tip it. But I would back up a little more, because I want you to solve this problem, and I want you to solve it once and for all. And that means she just needs to run to the end confidently. The only way she's going to run to the end confidently is if we back up a ways further, okay? Nice job this week, Aaron.